What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Shelly Nicole, with the Remedy Podcast. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great weekend. I had an eventful weekend. Nonetheless, I went to the museum on Sunday. Went to the Museum of Illusions. It was cute. It was fun. I thought it would be bigger than what it was, but it's actually like really small. It's like 2 floors, sorta. But it's not as big as you would assume it should or would be. Nonetheless, it was I had a good time. I had fun. Thanks, Boo, for taking me. And then I went to Black Tap, got me a burger. If you've never been to Black Tap, you should go. The milkshakes and the burgers, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I went to the one that was on, I don't even remember, but I know it's in the city, so you gotta go to the city and try it. I'm literally looking it up right now. I think I went to the one not on Hudson Street. Was it Broome Street? I think it was Broome. Yeah, it was Broome Street because we was in Soho. So we went there. It was really good. Like, when I tell you, really good. It's really good. I've been there like 3 times already. It's probably like my 4th time, or maybe my 3rd time going, but love it. If you guys want to just have a cute, fun date, definitely go and enjoy yourself. But yeah, I had a very good Sunday. Saturday, I went out with my girls, Devonna and Nisi, for Nisi's birthday. Nisi's birthday was Sunday, but Shorty was out, outside in another country and whatever, so I had to wait for her to come back, which is fine. And we had a good time. It was beautiful. It was really nice to hang out with them and to just chop it up and think of plans. It's always great when you go on these dinner dates and you talk about the future and you talk about like what are the plans for each of us, and we're all like going down different paths and everything, which is great. But just motivating and hearing how each of us have things going on and what we're trying to do. So it was great hanging out with them. We definitely said we got to do it more because we are terrible at this hanging out thing. But I think as you get older, life starts to life, and everybody has their own responsibilities. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, I had a great weekend. I literally, when I tell you literally, just came from the gym. Like, I'm literally sitting in my gym clothes as I'm talking to you guys right now. And I'm on some like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to just, let me hurry up and just get this done real quick because it's like 4:00 right now. And the episode's supposed to be up at 6. Go figure. But yeah, so this is why I'm doing the episode right now. And I didn't do it beforehand. But I wanted to base this, the name of this episode is Lying in Love. And it's basically from the book that I was reading. My brother actually gave me this book. Shout out to Jay. All About Love by Bell Hooks. Now, I have like 3 books from Bell Hooks, and she has great work. She really does, and it really makes you think. If you ever read or listened to any of her, I don't even think they have like audio for her books, or maybe they do. But if you ever read any of her books, you definitely know that she drops gems, and it's like, oh, you're absolutely right. And one of the things that I was definitely looking at, or as I was reading, and how like so many people just lie when they're in love, and like they just try to do things that granted, you want to make your partner happy. I mean, everybody wants to do that, but at the end of the day, you're sacrificing for your partner that your partner wouldn't sacrifice for you. And some things you cannot compromise on, because then it just goes against your boundaries and it goes against who you are as a person. So nonetheless, when I was reading the book, I put some highlights. It's going to be not a rather short episode, but I always said I'm trying to keep my episodes to 30 minutes or less. So we're just going to jump right into it. So this episode, like I said, is called Lying in Love. So when I think of lying in love, I kind of think of everything that you would not want to happen to you that people are doing nonetheless, right? So if you're cheating, or if you are being a narcissist, if you are just gaining materialistic things, if you're in it just for transactional purposes, if you're really not in it if you're in it outside of wanting to actually find genuine true love, then I feel like you're lying in love, and you're lying to yourself and you're lying to your partner that this is something that you actually want. And I do feel like it's something that we definitely deal with today when it comes to dating. I feel like majority of relationships now are just so transactional, and so I'm going to do it for the world so the world can see exactly what I'm doing, and not for the genuine purpose of, I actually like this person, I actually want to be with them. And knowing that you have options regardless of social media or not, but just knowing that you want to work shit out with this one person and you don't want to go anywhere else. I do feel like that is something that we struggle with in this society, and when it comes to dating, that we think that the grass is always greener on the other side, when I'll say 7 times out of 10 that the grass is greener where you water it, and not always on the other side, because you don't know what you're getting when you leave the person who has been there for you forever, the person who has been holding things down. She may look good, he may look good, she may have more money, he may have more money, she may drive a nicer car, he may drive a nicer car, she has, all the clothes, designer, jewelry, whatever, and so does he, and she probably lives in a high rise or has her own house, and he probably has the same thing. But at the end of the day, yeah, you're getting all of these things that look good, but if your mentality and if your mouth, the way you speak, is disgusting, automatic turn off. I don't really care what it is. I have heard so many, I've been around people who are like the most handsome. When I say handsome, like they're gorgeous. Like, oh, God did his big one when he made you. Like gorgeous men and female. And I'm just like, they probably look like they're so down to earth. They probably look like they're just so level headed. And then sometimes I'll go around them, or like I said, I've been around them, and they'll open up their mouth and they'll say something, and I'm just like, ooh, you're so ugly. And like, I don't say it, but my face does. Like, everybody knows me, my face is gonna say it before my mouth does. And I'm just like, this can't be the real thing. So I do feel like, bringing it back, that I feel that everyone is in relationships now, or trying to look for someone who they can just benefit off of, and not simply loving them for who they are, flaws and all, because we all have them. We all have a flaw. We all have something that we do not like. We all have something that we wish we could change, and to sit here and say that we don't, I think is a complete lie already. But I feel like there's so much work that can be done that we choose not to do when it comes to being in love and really truly wanting and honoring your relationship. So a few things that I realized when I was reading this book, right? Bell points out that our view on love is taught at an early age. How to love, who to love, and how to suppress love. And when I read that part, I was just like, I had to really go back and think about my childhood, and think about my house, and think about what I've seen, not even just in my house, but just with family and other people around. I'm saying extended family, not my immediate family, but how I saw love. And it does tend to mold you into this person as you get older, where a lot of people don't think that that's not how they are, but in reality it is. And this is why I say, like, going to therapy is probably one of the best things that anybody can do, because a therapist, or if you don't want to go to a therapist, you could also hit me up. I do have book 101, Remedy 101. I do have that. It's in the bio on Instagram. We could chop it up. We could talk. And I basically take what I've learned through therapy, and what I'm still learning through therapy and through reading, and what I see works best, and how I have grown, and how I've seen other people grow as well. That you do need the, not unsolicited, the unwanted, I guess, truth about yourself that you may not see, that your friends may not tell you, that your family's gonna hide, but someone who actually probably knows you or hears your story or hears your side will tell you, like, yeah, bro, this is why you act the way that you act because of what happened in your past. And a lot of people don't want to go to their past. I get it. Sometimes going to your past means like you have to relive things that you've just blocked out. But 9 times out of 10, you blocking that out is only going to make you suffer more, especially when it comes to getting in a relationship or loving someone, because it's going to pop up. It more than likely will pop up. It more than likely will surface. And you have to find a way to deal with it without going off the freaking cliff and acting out. Like catching a whole case, crashing out. Like, you have to find a way to cope with it. And when I did my own little thought or my own little research as to like, what did I experience or what did my brother experience when we saw love? It's like, yes, it does make sense as to why, like, I kind of move the way I move. Not to spill my tea, but I spill tea, but not too much tea, right? So it makes sense when you think about it, how you learn to love and who to love and how to suppress your love as well, because you can suppress love. And when I say suppressing love, I mean like you probably always wanted to give it. You probably always wanted to show affection, but every time you did, it was shot down. Every time you wanted to show this person or show anybody who you're dealing with or who's ever in your family that you love them or that you care about them, you were told like, okay, you're doing too much, or like maybe you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that, which then caused you to just shut it out completely and you no longer want to love or to show it. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean when I say suppressing it. Another thing she points out is that as children, we first learn that telling a lie is better than telling the truth because we learn it from our parents lying to each other. Which I also, again, had to think about because, like, and I guess as I'm saying this, you guys can actually put it together for yourself. Like, have you ever seen your parents lying to one another about something that they said, something that they did, seeing maybe your dad go about an argument or go about doing whatever he's doing and then lying to your mother about it? So you actually saw it, like, bro, did you just lie to mom? Like, I just saw you do what you just say that you wasn't going to do. We learn as children from our parents. There was another scenario that she actually put up there, and I'm trying to find it. I can't find it, and it's really irritating me. Watch, I find it at the end of this whole episode. But nonetheless, she said we learn our lying from our parents and showing us how to lie, I guess. Also, so the other thing that she said was telling the truth causes pain. Lying keeps from some people being hurt, which I can definitely attest to as well. You start your lies, like so when you lie, right? And this is for anybody who does lie or has a problem with lying or wants to stop lying, right? When you start a lie, you have to continue it. You can't just shut it off when you feel like shutting it off. You have to just keep going and keep going and keep going, which then causes it to be a bad habit. I do feel like for some people, or maybe for most, that the lying, like she says, that we learn that in our childhood, and we learn how lying has either we learned it from our parents or we just learned it doing it ourselves, but we've learned how lying can get us out of a lot of situations and how lying can keep people from being angry at you, keep people from being mad at you, keep yourself out of trouble by lying. And telling the truth, while it may hurt when you do tell the truth or when you hear the truth, it's better than hearing a lie and then having to know that that was a lie that was told to you in the end, if you get what I'm saying. If you have a problem with lying, literally, like, I feel like you have to talk to yourself, not in a crazy way, but you do have to address yourself by telling yourself, like, listen, okay, What I'm doing, I know it's not good, and I know I need to stop and I need to pull back. And literally, when you feel yourself about to lie, find a way to like adjust your brain. I know it sounds harder than what it is, but if you feel yourself on the cusp of getting ready to lie about something, just like my therapist would tell me, like, just bite your tongue. If you feel like you're about to lie, if you feel like you're about to curse, if you feel like you're about to do anything, bite your tongue. Literally bite your tongue. And then it suppresses your mind. It's some type of chemical that goes off in your mind. I don't remember exactly what she said, but it's a chemical that goes off in your mind that tells you to stop doing something. And you literally tell yourself, not out loud, but you tell yourself, do not lie. And then you go about it every single time, every day, no matter what it is. Because some people don't realize that it is a sickness, that it is something that people do in order to protect themselves. Not even just you as a person, but they're doing it to protect themselves because they can't face reality, or they're trying to make their own reality. So telling the truth can cause pain, but I have said before, I'd rather deal with the pain of the truth than deal with the pain of a lie. And when you deal with the pain of a lie, it more than likely the person will never come back and talk to you again, or they'll never look at you the same. And that, I think, hurts more than someone being told the truth and knowing, like, listen, at least I told you. It is like, at least I gave it to you honest, and I was very upfront with you, and I told you exactly what it was. How you handle it and how you deal with it is not on me. I also say that as well. How someone handles your truth is not on you. That's on them to figure out. That's on them to come to the understanding and the comfortability, but that has nothing to do with you. So practice that as well if you have an issue with lying. And as I'm continuing to read it, it's just like I said, that she also mentioned, as a child, you see the power of lying. And again, people who have lied, I know people who have lied for years. Like, when I say for years, from like the birth to the death. And that's just how they went about their life. That's just how they went about going about saying anything, like doing anything. It just makes them feel better. But at the end of the day, it's not just making them feel better. It's also something that they have become accustomed to, because as a child, they realize, I could get away with it. So why stop now? It goes from a child to a teenager to an adult. And you continue to do it until someone points it out and lets you know, like, hey, what you're doing, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, and I need you to stop doing it. And really addresses it to you and lets you know that you have to cut it out. And it's the same thing when it comes to love, and not just in relationships as far as romantic relationships, but also friendships, also in family. You have to understand that at some point that lie is going to show its face. And you have to now you have to chalk it up to what it is and be like, you know what? Yes, I did lie. I'm sorry. And go see some help too. Definitely see some help. Definitely, recognize that you have a problem that has probably, like I said, happened since you were a child, that you never really addressed or you never corrected because no one ever said anything to you about it. And take the steps to change your ways and go about doing what you did as a child, as you're not going to do that as whether a teenager or an adult. So the other way that she broke it down was between males and females, which I found to be very interesting, but I didn't get all the points. I just took some, and I was just like, okay, like, let me just summarize it. So for the men, of course, I'm going to go for the men first. She said that males learn to lie as a way to obtain power. Now, gentlemen, I know a lot of you will sit here and say, nah, that's not true. But if you really think about it, a lot of men have done that, even in corporate world, even in the celebrities. You don't think any of them have lied about what they've done and how they've gotten to where they've, have what they have now by telling the truth? And a lot of men I feel like they thrive off of power. Being the head honcho, being that, I ain't gonna curse, but being that man, you know what I mean? The other word that we use. And being on top. Like, just knowing that I can get what I want. And not just because I'm a man, but because I found a way to get around the curve. Another thing she said was that, so she referenced Dory Hollander's 101 Lies Men Tell, 101 Lies, not 101, 101 Lies Men Tell Women. Men lie way more than women and with more devastating consequences. I do believe that to be true as well. And I'm not saying, because before y'all get y'all damn drawers in your crack of your butt, I do feel like men, you guys are terrible when it comes to lying too. Like I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm not going to spill the secrets, because then, that's not being a girl's girl. I'm just going to say a lot of you do not know how to tell, like how to just keep the lie and to just like keep a straight face, a poker face, and then lie at the same time. You give it away all the time. Y'all give it away. Especially if your girl is like knows you and she's really like connected with you and she sees that, okay, you're off. Y'all are terrible at it, and definitely higher and more significant consequences. I definitely believe that as well. I would definitely say that. She also said men felt it to be harder to tell the truth if it meant hurting someone they loved. Young boys learn to lie to mom or the woman in their life at a young age to avoid seeing them upset, which then led into adulthood. And I guess I can understand that as well, because, when your mom tells you, did you do this and that and another, and you don't want to see your mom upset, you don't want to see your mom get angry, because they always say a boy's first love is his mother and a girl's first love is her father. And that's the one thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to make your dad upset. You don't want to make your mom upset. So you automatically just run to lying, because you just don't want them to cry or to be mad or to scream at you or to just hit you if that was, what you were dealing with in your household. So you just continue to build a lie, which then shows you as a young man that, okay, my mom didn't react this way, so I know if I say this to and then you just continue on as you get older. I could just tell my girl a lie because she won't say nothing. She won't act this way. I'll tell my wife this because she won't act this way. She won't. It's just a ripple effect, basically. And then they also said that men 9 times out of 10 will never lie in the workplace, but will lie in their relationships, especially to gullible women or women they believe they can get over on. See, that'd be the problem right there. Because I've been lied to by my exes. And the thing is, and I always say this, I'm better than the damn FBI. I'm better than the CIA. I'm going to find out one way or the other, baby. I'm going to find out. I am. And every time that I said that, it was like, no, you're not. You can only find out if I'm caught slipping. I'm trying to tell you, when you have someone who is connected emotionally, when you have someone who just knows when something is off and is in tune with that, you cannot keep up a lie. You can't. It never works out in your favor. I'm just telling you. But that is true. You won't lie at your job. I wouldn't say all men, because I feel like some men will lie at their job too. I feel like some men will just lie at their job just as much as they'll lie in their relationship. But I do feel like it's easier to lie in your relationship than it is to lie at your job. Which is crazy, because your job is your job. Your woman is your woman. Like, be for real. Come on now, be for real. And then she broke it down for us ladies, and I had to myself with this one, but I got only 2 things that were like kind of deep. But again, if you guys want to, you guys could definitely get her book. I think it's on Amazon. I'm not sure where else they have it, but it is definitely a good read. It is All About Love by Bell Hooks, so definitely get that. So one thing that she said about women when it comes to lying: females lie for the same reason as men, to obtain power, but to also pretend powerless. We try to be playing that gullible nonsense. Like, oh, woe is me. I can't do it. No, I don't know how to. It's just like when I'm at work and like I see the woman like with her bag or with her suitcase or whatever the hell like she has, and guarantee you from the moment she left her house to the moment she got out of that car to be dropped off to the airport, I guarantee you she picked up her bag. Now I understand that if you have a man that is very hands-on and very like, I got your bag, that's one thing. But shorty, be for real. Because if your man wasn't there, how was you going to be able to pick up your bag? Like, be for real. They act all, oh, well, I don't know if I can in my arm and this and that and that and the third. But like, but then they say that, and then the moments like it goes through security and it gets to the other side, now all of a sudden they can pick up a bag. Now all of a sudden they're Hulk, the She-Hulk, and they can pick things up. Like it just it irritates me. Like, if you're gonna let a man just do it, just let a man do it and back up. But if you're gonna really play this, oh, I can't do it, and my nails and girl, be for real. Get it together. We like, I can't. I'm just not. I'm not a pretend powerless type of woman. I'm just not. Like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. But I can do it. I'm in the gym. Trying to tell you, I could pick up these bags. I could pick these bags up, please. So she also says that another author, Harriet Lerner, I think her name is Harriet Lerner, or Linear, The Dance of Deception, that's her book. She says that women are encouraged by sexist socialization to pretend and manipulate, to lie as a way to please. I can't say anything. I mean, it is somewhat true. We do have a tendency, ladies, let's come on. We can't sit here and just talk about the men and then not talk about ourselves here. We have a tendency to act real dun-da-dun, and we have a tendency to, play this manipulation game as if we don't know what we're doing just to get what we want. I mean, I just did a live last week, Tuesday, and we were talking about, well, one of the subjects of what we were talking about was men trying to see their children, and how women sometimes, if you didn't work out in your relationship, sometimes the woman will hold the child back just because they feel like it, or just because they can. And this is not every mom, every woman out there who has a child and a relationship didn't work out with the father. But for some, and I have seen it, I have been a witness to it. I was in a relationship when it happened. I have seen it with my own eyes. A woman literally keeping her child away from the father simply because he was in a relationship with me. And because she wanted a relationship with her and the baby father. And because he didn't want that, and because he was trying to be cordial and to move on with his life, she kept the baby away from him. And when I tell you, this girl came up with every excuse, story, written novel that you can come up with, it was pissing me off. Because, girl, be for real. Be for real. And again, I'm not a mom, so I don't know the emotional side behind it, because I can only imagine that, yes, you and this person who you probably were in love with, who you had all these ideas with, who you're telling all these, I want to do this with you, I want to build, I want to have this, and then a baby comes and then boom, everything changes. I can definitely understand how. And not only just with that and reminiscing, but also dealing with postpartum and having that all having to come together. I can definitely understand how the mind may work and how your emotions will possibly get you to feel that way, in a sense. And I'm saying this very, very slightly. But I do feel like at some point, you do have to pick yourself up and be like, you know what? It didn't work out. He still wants to be in my child's life. He still wants to take care of our child. He's still giving me money. He's still helping out somehow, some way. So let me back up a little bit. Let me not do this whole, well, if you can't have your child if you can't be with me type shit. Like that's really you're harming the child more than you're doing good. You're damaging the child more than you're actually thinking that you're doing, what's best for your kid. You're keeping his or her father away because you're upset that the relationship didn't work. At some point, and I'm not just saying this just for a woman and man type of situation, as far as the man trying to be in the child's life, it could be vice versa, where, the father is constantly in the mom's way when she's trying to get her groove back and trying to date again and getting into her newly single self. And you as the father, like, yeah, well, no, I don't want no man around my child. And, saying all these weird things just because you're upset that the relationship didn't work out. Move on. You can do so much better as a co-parenting with each other. You're in a healthy relationship, she's in a healthy relationship, vice versa. And y'all do what y'all gotta do for the child. Y'all do what y'all gotta do to make your life easier. But in this situation, ladies, like I said, we tend to be manipulative. I'm not gonna hold you. We have our moments. We do. And we gotta do better. We have to do better. We do. We gotta do better. So be on the lookout for the live. I think I'm going to actually do the live Thursday. I'm going to do the live Thursday night. I either pick Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I pick any time, any one of those times. Really just because, like I said, I'm still enjoying my life and doing what I got to do. But I definitely like interacting with you guys, and I definitely love hearing your perspectives and your ideas. So I'm going to do the live on Thursday at 6 p.m. And we're going to talk about this more, lying in love, and what deceptions and deceits that we all have as men and women. And I am interested to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a great day or great rest of the week. Whatever happened in today, leave it into today. Do not bring that shit into tomorrow. I love you guys for listening. Have a good one.